Hello everyone and welcome back to Insurmountable here, where we are starting to get into the more difficult missions. We've just taken out Mountain 2. To get up to the very top, to Mountain 3, we need to complete 3 side missions in the region of Mountain 2. The first one we're going to do is this one, the side mission with a large mountain with moderate elevation. Potentially. Or we can go for this one. A large mountain with a steep rise. Just having a look at the rewards. I think we're going to go for this first one. This one here. Very rough terrain and cold. Because this one is normal weather, but very cold at night and also very rough terrain. I'm not sure which one we want to focus on. There's a lot of dangerous terrain, so I think we're going to go for the other one. It's a large mountain with a steep rise, so we might be able to get to the top quickly and then deal with the consequences afterwards. And I think we're going to go for the adventure for this one, because we're going to need all that increased energy that they've got. I think that's what we'll do. Plus, we also get some sanity when they're in the death zone, and there's going to be a lot of death zone in this area. So I'm going to confirm the adventurer. Now, in terms of what we carry, we've got 35 carry capacity, so we can take one of these kind of major items. I like something which is to do with climbing. This one here, perhaps, the climbing axe. 10% energy cost from climbing, because if we're doing a lot of climbing, that will be useful. And we've got 10 extra carry capacity, so I think we'll take a hot tea with us. Or we can take another food. Essentially, we'll take another food. I think body temperature will be okay on, but energy we might struggle with, so I think we'll do that. I think if we can just keep our energy levels up, then we might be okay, but this is a cold mission, so perhaps I should have bought the hot tea. We'll have to see. There's a new task waiting for you, a new challenge to master. You head out again into the unknown. We can do sprint, and we can also do master climber, so we'll use that in the important moments. That being said, it's quite a bit of a way up to there, I would say. A long way to go yet, that's for sure. But we can make some good progress straight away. Do we want to go across the ice? I think we probably do. I think probably the best thing we can do is just start going as quickly as possible towards the destination, as opposed to going a slightly kind of circumvented route. I don't think that's the best option in this, with kind of the kind of body temperature being a potential issue. I think this is the best option, is just to move quickly and as fast as we can up towards the summit, because even though if we make it to the summit, we may yet have to turn around and go somewhere else afterwards, and it's probably still quite a way to go. But I think I prefer these missions to the temporal anomalies, because then they're spread out over such a wide area. It's kind of tough to get to them and then still make it to the destination, whereas these ones have a more defined goal, which I think I like. I think I prefer in general. We get a bit of experience, which means a level up. Excellent. Reduce time cost of moving. These are only limited hours. I'm going to take this one, Warm Thoughts, because we do have a few consumable items, and that will allow us to get a little bit of body temperature back when we use any of our consumable items. There is a lot of difficult terrain here, so we're going to have to bear that in mind. We also see an oxygen bottle. I can dig. I can use a stone. I'm going to use the stone. Hopefully I don't injure myself. Looks like we're okay. We managed it. Excellent. Second oxygen bottle. A lot of this is going to be in the death zones. That's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Question is, can we actually make it up past here? I don't think we can. So I think we're going to have to go... I see. We're going to have to go around a different way. That's unfortunate. We'll have to kind of change where we go. There's a cave here, actually. We'll go spend the night in there. It's not the way I wanted to go, but we don't seem to have many other options with the terrain the way it is. I thought we'd be able to find a way through there, but unfortunately not. That's okay. We can sleep in the cave, and then we can keep pushing on the next day. There will be a little bit of body temperature loss, but we're just going to have to kind of deal with that as best we can, I think. In fact, I'll keep pushing to this cave here, Potentially even this cave here, actually. Because then it should be just about daytime by the time we wake up again. There's plenty of caves down here. We don't really need to go into all of them. I'm not going to follow... do I follow the smell? Let's follow the smell. If nothing else, we get some experience. That's helpful to get us up to another level, which is important. We'll sleep for a long time. We lose a little bit of body temperature. You know, it is going to be cold continuously. So if we can find something which helps with our warmth, that would be good, because otherwise we could be in some real issues here. Some more very prominently annoying terrain. It seems like there's not many options as to go as instead of going around this way. As long as we can find our way through, I think that's the main thing. Or can I go this way? No, because there's no. I see there's no path across. That's the problem we've got. I think it's good we had the climbing pick then, because otherwise we'd be in a little bit of trouble. There's a cave up there which we can maybe try and make it to for the next night time. We'll see. We'll have to see how tough it is to get there. Okay, we can get there, so let's head that way, and that'll be where we spend the night, or the second night, I should say. I wanted to say we'd have a really quick way up, but apparently not. We see a flock of migratory birds. Wonderful. That should give us some experience and possibly also some positive sanity. Wonderful. We get to level up again. Anything to do with heat? I'm going to take the controlled breathing because again that's for the whole mission. I just don't think at this point in the mission the kind of one-off rewards are really that useful, to be honest, because you know they're going to leave in 24 hours or 48 hours, and by that time we've already slept through half of it. So that's why I'm not too keen to kind of push forward that far, to be honest. Okay, we really need to utilize caves because if we have to use our tents early on, then we're gonna struggle. We're gonna explore this unusual object, and we've found some crampons. Wonderful. 35% energy on ice. That could be very useful. I was hoping for something more to do with heat, but that's okay. But we are going to need to find some way to deal with our body temperature problem, because I clearly haven't managed this quite well enough. Gain significantly more body temperature per hour when moving, but at an increased energy cost. I think we're doing okay on oxygen, so I'm actually going to take that intense movement in the hope to get some body temperature back. Can we make it up through here? Yes, we can, so let's do that. And there's the summit up there. But we are now in the death zone. Now what do we want to do? Do we want to ascend as quickly as possible? Do we want to take it slow? Or do we want to get some sanity back? I'm thinking I'm going to take it slow so we get a little bit of extra oxygen going forward. I think that's important. But we're getting our body temperature back, which is really useful. So that's when the kind of one-off events can be quite useful. Nearby an abandoned camp, there are some vacuum flasks filled with tea. I will thoroughly search the tents, because if I can get multiple... No, apparently I didn't get any tea. Despite the fact I thought I would. Never mind. Push down to the shrine here. There's a lot of annoying terrain to try work through here. Goodness me. Okay, pause here, and let's just climb up to this place here, because I can either give some energy or something useful. An old woman sits in front of a crooked hut. She wears a friendly, toothless smile and motions you to sit with her to recharge your strength. Health or I'll take the warmth. Arguably, we probably don't need it now, but that's okay. And there's a cave here we can sleep in for the night. Excellent. There do seem to be quite a few caves in this mission, though, which is good. And also the Northern Lights. Ooh, Northern Lights, very pretty. Now, whether that's caused by the radiation or just natural Northern Lights, who knows? I will follow the noise because we can find something useful. We're going to keep going, even though we don't have a flashlight, which we probably should. No success. Or maybe some success? Aha, we get some canned food. Excellent. It's useful for kind of short-term energy boosts should we need them. Sleep till daytime. So far we're managing to sleep through most of the night and only move during the day, which is important because of the temperature issue. And my real question is, how can we get where we need to go? We'll head this way and see what happens. Although I might just pause here quickly to have a look, because I want to make sure we can actually make our way up. It seems on the right hand side we can do, so we'll do that. We'll probably stop off that shrine down there as well if we can. We discover an intact tent. There's nobody inside, but the embers in the fire pit are still glowing. We'll search the camp, see what we find. We've found some energy on stone. We'll take it, but I think if we need to, we will. Because I think we're mostly on ice at the moment, so we'll keep the crampons on, but we can always change them over should we need them. Especially as the crampons are high quality. Moving onwards, I think now to the shrine. It's a little bit out of the way, but hopefully we'll get some energy back, or maybe some of our sanity. Arguably the sanity might be more useful in the short term. While staring at the starry sky, you notice a shooting star. I will take the sanity. I think we're okay for energy for the time being. We've got quite a bit of food to work with. I think we can go around to the right, even though there may not be a cave there. But hopefully we can find something useful over here. And it just seems like a bit of a more direct route towards the summit. Oh dear. Lying on the ground are two dead mountaineers. It looks like they haven't been there for long. You recognise the symbol on their clothing. Oh dear. It's the same one as the tent that you plundered. And we get a level up from seeing someone die. I'll take stay warm for the increased body temperature. That's unfortunate. That's not going to do well for our sanity. Oh well. Needs must on the mountain. Whatever the cost, we must sort out this issue, whatever it is. But that's definitely sad that... I can't even remember what we took from them actually. I think we only took some food. I guess food is energy, so I shouldn't kind of joke in that regard. Let's take the sanity back. We've just lost a huge pile of sanity. Can we keep going up here? Oh my goodness, this is a strange way around. We'll push to here and then kind of see where we need to. We might need to use a tent. Yeah, we're now in the death zone. It's not all too far to the summit, but it suggests to me that we're still a little bit to go after the summit as well. Especially as there's an absolutely dreadful way to get around. Let's go over here. We'll probably, like I said, I think we'll probably need to use one of our tents in this bit. So I don't think we'll be able to make our way to the very top otherwise. You're leaning against a rock face. A distant melody reaches your ear, soft and tender and beautiful. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing deeply and evenly, and you keep listening. Some more experience, some more sanity. Is there a way around for us over here? Yes, but is there a way up to the top? I'm actually going to take this route instead. Purely because I think it's a little bit less dangerous in terms of terrain. And then we'll go up the left-hand side. There's that cave up here, but again, it's going to be a little tough to get to, so I think we'll just carry on this way. And we're going to actually stop where we are, I think. So to save our body temperature, there is no cave here. There's one up there, but there's no way we're going to make it in time. So we will use one of our tent durabilities and sleep through till daytime. I think that's the best option we can do anyway. Right. Let's push up to here, if we can. Worming our way through rather tough terrain. And we are, of course, in the death zone as well. So that's having a bit of blight on our oxygen as well. But we can use our oxygen bottles and our kind of our bits of food that we have to kind of keep ourselves pushing forwards. We're not too far from the top, but there could still be quite a bit of issues going forward. We just don't know. get things moving forward. I don't know. I think I must have accidentally slowed down. There's a lot of terrain over here, which suggests to me that there's probably more for us to do yet. So we'll have to see. For now, though, we'll see what this item is here, and then I think we can probably push to the summit. Okay, you reach an expansive plateau. A thick fog bank hangs over a depression in the rock. You stare into the grey mass for a while, wondering if it's concealing something. You find it odd that the fog doesn't seem dissipating or spreading at all. I'm not going to walk into the fog, that seems like a dreadful idea. We'll look around outside the fog bank. You tiptoe around the edge of the fog bank. You hear a muffled hammering and rattling. It's barely audible. Then it stops. What was it? You strain your ears to listen, and silence. Just as you begin to wonder if you imagine the noise, it starts up again. It's coming from the fog bank, and it sounds metallic. You turn to walk away as you discover a box half hidden in the fog. You pull it out and find provisions. Not provisions that we actually can use, apparently. I'm going to use one of my canned foods just to give myself a little bit of energy to push to the top. But I think we're still gonna. That's not going to be the end. We're still going to have to find our way outwards. But this has been a very interesting mission. We will push through the night here. I think we should be okay, and we should get some stats when we reach the summit anyway, because I presume we're going to have to find our way out as well. Make our way back to the kind of warbling exit point of the radiation. But definitely a very steep kind of first level there before we found our way out. But what awaits us, I'm not entirely sure. You breathe in deeply as you look down from the summit. These mountains are really something. You wonder how you'll find the strength to withstand this madness, but your doubts soon give way to certainty. Deep down, you know that every single climb gives as much as it takes. Every step provides experience, makes you better, and now it's time to keep going and reach your goal. Aha. As expected, it was not the end. Still a little bit to go yet. It's not exactly... Okay, it looks like we've got actually quite a way to travel. Are there any caves nearby? There's a cave here, which we can just about make. But then we'll be going in the daytime, which doesn't feel that useful to me. Are there any other caves closer to us that we could utilise a little bit better? There doesn't seem to be. So we'll head that way anyway. And I guess we'll sleep through the day. It's not ideal. But we don't have that many caves, and we don't know how many more bits of this mission we have yet to go. So I think we'll push to that cave anyway, and we'll just have to have an issue in... We'll just have to kind of work a way around it where we're now walking through the day, as opposed to the night. Or actually, we'll be sleeping through the day and then walking through the night. My apologies. Got that the wrong way around. But at least we'll be okay in terms of energy. There may well yet be another cave around. We'll have to see. But let's keep going forward. Hopefully we don't have too many issues with terrain. Of course we do. A desert of snow and ice stretches before you. If you're radiantly bright as if you're staring into the sun, you screw your eyes up to see better. They feel irritated and start to ache. Snow blindness. Blindness? Snow blindness? I think that's the thing. You wipe your face with your hands, tears will rain down your cheeks. Stop and relax your eyes, or cover my eyes and keep walking. I'm going to stop and relax my eyes. I really hope that's the best thing. You sit down on the rock and close your eyes. You need to protect them from the sun's rays so you don't go completely blind. You pack up some snow on your eyelids to cool them. After a while the pain subsides, but you feel cold. I think you would do if you piled snow on your eyes, to be honest. To me that would feel quite painful, but I don't know if that's a genuine mountaineering technique that people use. They may or may not do, we'll have to see. Let's actually just take a little bit of a detour over to this item. We might get something heat related which would be useful. You discover a bird's nest that is extremely unusual at this altitude. You find a vacuum flask filled with tea in the nest. That's remarkable. I'll definitely take it though. Body temperature is always useful. We could keep pushing onwards, and I wonder if it might not be the better option. Hopefully we'll be okay in terms of energy. We do have the food, should we need it. Let's just stop here and try to take stock. because I'd really rather not push during the night time if I can. We've still got 2 uses of our tent, so actually we'll have some more food. That'll give us some energy to keep going, and then we can sleep during the night time. I think that's the much better option, in all honesty, than trying to keep walking through the night. Disembodied hand. You can see something sticking out of the snow a few feet ahead of you. As you approach, you feel a chill run down your spine. It's a human hand. The skin has gone grey and leathery, and there's no sign of the rest of the body. Do we search for the rest of the body? Do we examine the hand, or do we continue? Search for the rest of the body, see what we find. You dig around in the snow looking for other body parts, or anything that might provide a clue. Nothing. Maybe a wild animal found the hand and dragged it here. You spot something catching the light in the recess of a nearby rock. You investigate and find a knife, its blade dull and stained. Maybe this was used to sever the hand? Sadly, it's unusable now. You shudder to think about it. Lucky also provides some provisions that cheers you up. Well, plenty of oxygen bottles, goodness me. I wonder if someone tried to chop their hand off to save from frostbite, and then kept moving, and kind of cauterized it with, I don't know, snow. I don't know if that's something you can do. But that, I think, is a potential explanation for what happened. I'm actually going to take Preserve Energy just to keep our energy levels positive for the time being. We'll push up to here. We'll use our tent if we need to, but we're not too far away, I don't think, from the kind of point we need to get to. Although I might be wrong. And we find some fragile ice. Ooh, canned food. Let's give it a go. Hopefully we don't fall in. I'm going to turn around. I'm not risking falling into the ice. That could go catastrophically wrong, to be honest with you. Is that a cave up there? There's no caves I can see. But this doesn't feel like a very good route to be going, so I'm actually going to go upwards again, which might be a bad decision, but it's the decision I'm going to stick with nonetheless. And we'll probably sleep as soon as it turns night time. Ah. The handless corpse. An indigenous man is sitting slumped against the rock face. He does not stir as you approach. As you get closer, you notice that his right hand is missing, and the stump has been bandaged with stained rags. His eyes are wide and vacant. I'm going to bury the stranger. I think that's important. You huff and puff as you drag the stranger's body to a depression in the rock and collect boulders to cover him. You cover his face last, and only after have you closed your eyes. Only after you have closed his eyes. You take a moment to reflect. Anyone who amputates their own hand and keeps going must be extremely strong and extremely desperate. Either way, paying your last respects to him is the right thing to do. But let's stop here. Oh, there's a cave there. Let's actually go back to the cave, because I didn't see that cave there, but that will actually work perfectly for us. I'm not going to explore the tunnel. I'm simply going to lie down and sleep. Body temperature is still low, oxygen is getting low, but we do have both tea and oxygen to deal with this. I will actually just use a bottle of oxygen now, just to boost up our oxygen. I think that also gives us a little bit of body temperature as well. Okay, let's keep pushing up to this shrine up here. And then from there we can work out where we need to go next. I don't think we're that far away from our kind of beacon, but that still may not be the end of the mission. There may yet be kind of a third part to it. We'll have to see. Definitely a slightly harrowing mission as to what we've seen. Kind of seeing whoever it takes. Seeing whatever it takes to kind of get things done. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to activate both our abilities here. That's just going to help us move forward a little bit quicker. And hopefully get us out down to our goal down there, which is not too far away. We might even be able to get there within the day, I think. But we'll go to the shrine and see what we find. The shrine usually gives us choice of one of the two stats. We'll take the energy, as we don't actually have any issues with health at the moment. We're not going to be able to make it there in one day, but we will at least push as far as we can and then use our tent. We have been quite lucky with caves this mission. But it seems like there's still going to be a little bit of... Actually, we can probably just use our... Because because I think we still have some canned food. We can use that to maybe push to the exit point, and then we don't need to sleep. And then we can save our tents in case we need to keep going further, which we may or may not need to do. It is now night time. I'm just going to pause here quickly. I'm going to have my last canned food, and that should give us just enough energy to make it all the way to the beacon. And if nothing else, that will allow us to get some more... it will give us some more stats if it's not the end of the mission, because it may push us towards the top of the mountain again, although there doesn't seem to be a huge amount over here for us to keep going on, so I suspect this might be the end of the mission, but we'll have to see. The adventure's done well. It's useful having a lot of excess energy. It really kind of helps in that regard. You've reached your goal, your body feels weak, but your heart is jumping for joy. You know the mountain is a merciless foe, but this time you've defeated it. Excellent. That's the first side mission done for the kind of tier 2 mountain. A large mountain with a steep rise, a large area of the mountain is covered, located in the death zone, but the terrain is less challenging. The terrain was less challenging, but a lot of the terrain was impassable, and that caused us a lot of issues as to kind of trying to work out where we needed to go. We've got a good amount of experience here, and of course we try to get to as many events as possible because events are always useful, and we get some more upgrade points for each of our characters. Excellent, we can keep pushing, making them as best as possible. I think probably I'll either use the adventurer or the scientist kind of for the final mission, but we'll have to see how things go. You wake up at the station with one thought plaguing you. How long have you already been on the island, unwittingly caught in the time loop? Hard to say. Months? Maybe years? It might sound strange, since time is basically the only thing I think about, but I've lost all sense of it. You have more questions than you want answered. How did the stranger get into the station, and how does she know about the experience that took place here? You should know that I'm not here by chance. My father's the lead researcher, or he was. When the accident happened, I must have lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was alone. I was just a girl, and I was afraid. I was scared to set foot outside the door. When I eventually realised that my father wasn't coming back, I started to look for an escape. I ventured out of the station and met people, but when we saw each other again, they didn't remember me. Everything out there keeps repeating, but not in here. It was like a puzzle where the pieces don't really seem to fit. Even after all these years, I still only understand a tiny fraction of what's going on. You probably feel like I've deceived you, but please believe me when I say that was never my intention. I just want to get out of here, just like you do. Interesting. Now, what do we need to do for the adventure? I think I'm going to try boost up her or their body temperature, because body temperature was a little bit of an issue that last time. The scientist, I will actually do Tinkerer, because that sounds quite fun, managing to create your own equipment. And for the journalist, who we're not kind of following as much, I don't think we need the health. I think we will give you... Ooh, what do we give you? We'll do Enthusiasm 2, I think, but really I don't think we're going to be using the journalist that much at all. Now going back to the missions, we've done one. Still another couple to do yet. That mission 3 will be a tough one, that's for sure. And probably the next one we'll do will be this one here, this side mission. I mean, finishing with the journalist is going to be interesting, because I don't think the journalist is really our best option. And then we'll probably do this one with the scientist to get some additional experience there. But stormy and rough terrain, I'm not thrilled about, so we might have to decide a different route going forwards. But all that to come next time. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.